Cold email is by far the most efficient way to book sales calls for your business in 2024. If you don't have the extra 5 hours a day to film and create content, or you don't have thousands of dollars just laying around to spend on ads, cold email, once you get it right, can get you booked calls every single day. In this video, I want to train you and show you how to get so good at cold email that you can't stop booking calls. We're going to start off with your offer and how it is king. It is the core, it is the foundation of everything for you. If your offer isn't appealing to your target audience, then you're going to really struggle to get clients. You're going to struggle to write copy. You're going to struggle to find the right targeting. The first point of a winning offer structure is your subject line. How are you getting the person to click on the email when you send it? You can use compelling things. You can be witty. You can be intriguing. You can be edgy. It really depends on the niche that you're in. I was working in a very saturated market of payment processing, and I was really struggling to get people to respond to my emails. And so I wrote a whole campaign based around pizza, and my subject line was one word. It was all lowercase, and it was pizza. And I had 80% open rates. I was getting people on the phone, and it was working, and it was fun. So that's an example of way to stand out in all the noise. The next part of this winning structure, you need to really identify the pain points and also the ambitions of your buyer persona, this person that you're reaching out to. Do you know the struggles that they face on a daily basis? Do you know what their dreams and ambitions are for their business and maybe even personally? Understanding and identifying that and really clearly getting your mind wrapped around it will directly impact how you write your copy. That leads us into your unique selling proposition. Now, you're going to use the pain points or the ambitions of the buyer persona to create this unique selling proposition, which allows you to articulate what makes your product and service or your solution unique and why it's the best choice for the person you're reaching out to, why you are so different from everybody else. And this will touch base on your value proposition. What are the tangible outcomes and improvements that your clients can receive? Also, you can use a few other things like social proof, case studies, client reviews, but something that is a really important part of your structure is to consider the risk that your buyer persona perceive of hiring you. And how can you reduce that perception? Is it through guarantees? How do you lower that barrier? Can you offer some sort of 30 days your money back guarantee or a free trial or some sort of cancellation policies? Lowering the risk for your buyer persona is a huge way to help you get them on the phone and to respond. After you've done all this, your call to action is obviously going to be the reason why they respond to your emails. How are you calling this individual to action? Is it to get on a meeting? Is it to give you a phone call? Is it concise and clear? Do you have too many calls to action in your email? Maybe your call to action is having them sign up for a free trial or just to visit your website or watch a video. And then after that, you need to have follow-up mechanisms too. How do you keep the conversation going? And how do you address the hesitations your potential buyer has? You might need to nurture them. Keep the conversation going and address any hesitations you can, if possible, and if it's appropriate in your situation. Now, I wanted to show you really quick just what a unique selling proposition could look like potentially. Now, this isn't something I would use in actual email copy, but I would pull from this to write email copy. It says, struggling to make your mark in a saturated online world? Our SEO agency unlocks the hidden potential of your website with a bespoke blend of AI precision and creative strategy, promising not just to elevate your rankings, but to revolutionize your traffic within 3 months, risk-free, or you don't pay a dime. The one other thing I need you to take into consideration when you're working on your offer is, what are your competitors doing? How are they standing out, and what can you do differently? If you're in a saturated market, this is the work you need to put in. If you send more cold emails, you're gonna get more clients. It is so scalable. Even if you're running a campaign that doesn't have great numbers, maybe you're only getting a 1% response rate. That's okay, because with cold email, you can scale it. And you can also at the same time tweak it and work on its performance so that you get a higher response rate, which more bookings and then more clients. How you achieve this with Instantly, you can build this massive infrastructure by buying 100 domains, and you put 5 accounts per domain. That's 500 inboxes sending out emails, and you could send 5 emails a day from each inbox. The numbers just exponentially increase, and Instantly allows me to plug that in and do bulk actions so I can build a massive infrastructure quickly. Another thing I want you to take into consideration when you're doing cold emailing and you're writing this copy, nobody cares who you are when you're reaching out to them, unless you're like Mark Cuban or Elon Musk. So don't focus on yourself when you're writing your email copy. Focus on the person you're reaching out to because they care about themselves. You need to capture them and have them understand as soon as possible that you empathize with them and their pain points and their goals and their ambitions. And this is part of the psychology of cold emails. You have to get through all the mental barriers that people have when it comes to cold email. If you're struggling to write cold email, like going back and forth, you're having a hard time with inspiration, within Instantly, we have a ton of templates that you can check out. Right next to the save button here, there's a templates button, and you can search here for what your niche is. Maybe you have a coaching business or a growth agency or even follow-ups. All of these will help you craft your cold email campaigns, and then you can adjust and make them more specific for your niche. The next component, you need to build a list. Now, there are a lot of different ways to build a list. Instantly has their lead finder, which is great because it's all on one platform, so I can instantly just move it over, get it verified. But it's important that you get data that's good and that's new, that's fresh, because data ages really quick. So make sure you take time to build a good list and then verify it before you reach out to it. Now let's get into setting up a campaign within Instantly. You've clicked over here on the left-hand side, there is a campaigns button, and on the top right-hand side, all you have to do is hit add new, and let's just type in a name, awesome campaign. Right here is where you add your leads. All you have to do is click add leads and select the way that you're going to do this. Or if you're using the lead finder, you can instantly transfer people over from the lead finder into the campaign by hitting add to campaign, selecting the campaign, and then hitting add to that campaign. So you're in here, you've built this awesome campaign, you've got your leads plugged in, you have them verified. Now you're writing your email copy. You can use these templates if you need to, or you can insert your own and modify them how you want. We offer a ton of options here. You can create multiple variants, and what these variants do is it allows for you to send out different types of the same email so that you can see what may or may not work. You could send 5, 10 different variants if you want, and then you're starting to add steps. After the first step, that's the first email that's sent out. The second email is this second step. Now you can make it wait 2 days, you can make it wait 5 days till it sends the second one. That's up to you. You can create multiple steps too. I recommend at least 3 to 5 at minimum. And this is where you can have your first touch, provoking a pain point. The second touch could be asking a question about their business. You can do a Loom video. There's all sorts of different things you can do. You can then head over to the schedule and you can create a schedule of when you want to reach out to people. It could be any time of the day. You can choose select on weekends or not if you want. You hit save, then you're going to head over to the options, and then you're going to select all the inboxes you want to be sending from, and then you can hit save or launch, whichever you prefer. Now, one thing to take into consideration when you're starting your campaigns is your deliverability. When you've set up your domains, make sure you have your DMARC, your DKIM, your SPF set up so that you're going to people's inboxes. This will help with your deliverability, but also it'll just make your domain more authentic and actually legitimate in the eyes of blacklists. On top of that, if you clean your database, it's going to reduce the amount of bounce rate you have, which will increase the deliverability you have. Now, something you can do to help you understand what you need to work on is using this tool, mail-tester.com. You can send emails to it and it will give you a breakdown of everything that is working and is not. The next thing I want to touch on is the art of following up. You need to be relentless in sales. Following up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Persistence is an absolute key in this space because you might assume people check their inboxes every day or they might check every single email they get. That's just not true. So to increase your response rate and to get more leads, you need to increase the amount of times you're reaching out to people. The more, the better, in my opinion. I've played around with it. I've sent people an email for once every 2 weeks for 6 months at a time. I've tried all sorts of different variations to see what would work in my space. So take the time to write multiple emails. Don't just send one, send at least 3 to 5 if you can. Now, something else to take into consideration when you're doing cold emailing is understanding and creating the content online. If you have videos out there or reviews or blogs or LinkedIn posts, try to create content in such a way that when people Google your name or Google your product, they instantly find what you want them to find because they are definitely going to look you up and you want to control that whole process. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is your inbox management. When you build this system, let's say you have 100 inboxes running, signing into each individual one is extremely time consuming. So using a Unibox tool will empower you to maintain and monitor all of these inboxes in a way that you can efficiently respond to people as they show interest. I'm going to show you the Unibox here instantly. I can see every single positive, negative response. Now, outside of monitoring all the responses from the campaigns that you have running, you can also check any other responses that are coming into those inboxes too. These are bounces essentially, and I can go in then and read the code and see what's going on. This is how you get good at cold email, and it's ridiculous for your business not to use this to grow. Now, if you're curious about what cold email software I personally use, I use instantly.ai. You can check out the link in the description to learn more, and also click on this video to watch a full tutorial on how to use Instantly. I'll see you in the next one.